I'd wait for the other one. The reason I have this one is I'm actually playing it on Xbox Game Pass. I don't own it. I play it for free. So now, instead of utilizing my HOTAS like I normally would for a flying game, I actually hooked up my honeycomb yoke and
nice
avionics panel. It is not a screened avionics, it is just switches, and it is I believe it's a Logitech, but I don't remember. It doesn't have any markings on it, but I've got my magnetos on it. I've got my master switches, including battery and alternator. I've got a avionics master. I've got a fuel pump, de-ice, and pitot heat. I've got cowling, opening and closing, switch. I've got panel lights, beacon lights, nav lights, strobe lights, taxi lights, and landing lights. And I have a gear lever. So it's a very awesome control panel. Honeycomb yoke does come with a couple of those switches on it as well, but they're behind the yoke, and so it's not terrible to reach them. But the top one, my additional panel, has more options than what the yoke comes with, so I'm opting to use that instead. Just wait for this to load. It did have an update, like a 2 GB update this morning, and that went rather quickly.
Yes.
But then it always takes forever to load. So I may very well cut this section out.
A crazy amount of textures and everything else that
Yes.
games load. I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't take forever to load.
Right? So I love the fact that this game is multi-screen compatible.
Yeah.
And VR compatible, which is very, very cool. So let's see if we can get it flipped over to VR compatibility.
Go to Ver. Go to Ver.
There we are. Yeah, not near as good. And let me see if I can switch that. Yeah.
So do you flick all the switches in VR on this one, or
yes,
you still have to use? Okay, that's nice.
No, yeah, it's and I'll show you here. I mean, you can't see me, but let's see. Flight conditions, live players, live traffic, live weather. And then there's supposed to be, oh, we have to pick
at the date, right?
Pick where we're flying from here first. There's Sebring, there's Okeechobee. We are going to fly out of Okeechobee because and what we're actually going to do, I like cold starting. So we're going to pick
this game. Is it like real timing too when you're flying between points?
Yes. With real
way to speed it up.
No, because it's real. There was, I thought it was in flight controls.
Yeah, there's the time there.
And I thought you could change that.
You're supposed to be able to. Every video I've seen says that you can.
It's just my nav log and where I'm going. It's been a while. Give me him. Hey, Kobe. Sorry. Oh. Nope, that's players. It's me. It's updates. Oh, that's friends. That's aircraft. Be right. Oh, so if we go,
Is it because you had live weather on?
okay, so that's real time. But if we go,
Back about 12 hours.
8th, that'll cause us to fly out over the water. 9th at 9:20, I think that'll work. Yesterday at 9:20 a.m. because it didn't hit land until
Well, it was 9 something p.m. last night when it hit
that it
land,
hit.
didn't it?
Yeah, so that's 12 hours prior. So I think that'll work, right?
Well, I would probably do like 14 hours prior. Give
Okay.
you time to get all your prep done, get in the air, and get to the coast by the time it's hitting.
So let's do 6:30 a.m. flight time. That sound good?
All right.
And we have live weather, right? And you can see it's morning. Sun's just coming up.
Oh, I can't see that. I'm seeing your menu.
Well, yeah, look, see?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see now.
Okay. We're gonna do VFR,
What is VFR?
visual flight rules.
Okay.
And so we have 26, 26. We are going to be flying the Beachcraft Bonanza G35. It's one of my favorite aircraft because it's an actual 176 cruise. So
That's
there is no Cessna next to it.
oh, I'm sorry. It looked like a Cessna from here. It's very,
Here's your
very, very small.
yeah. Oh, here's your Cessna. It's a
Okay.
152. There's a 172. Well, all three of these are the 172.
Right. How fast do those go?
124, 107.
Okay.
The 152 is
So
a 107. Yes.
but it's slower than the one to the right of it.
Yes, so that's the Beechcraft King Air. So it's a multi-engine prop with a cruise speed of 244 and a max altitude of 35,000.
And um what are you looking to get eventually?
This Beechcraft Bonanza G36. Or I don't have it. I could fly a helicopter too. See, I have a couple of helicopter in my inventory. I could drive.
The Game Pass. Is it worth it?
Uh, I pay for Game Pass because both me and my daughter play. So, worth it or not, that's really kind of up to you. If you don't play a lot of Xbox games, no, it's not worth it. If you do play
There
a
we are.
lot of Xbox
Now
games,
we're getting into something. Mr. Politician. Well, it depends. Well,
well, what's the right way to say this? Just say it. That's the right way to say it.
ooh, crash.
That's a bush plane. All three of those are bush planes. You can fly those too. Yeah.
And can you fly with friends on here?
Sort of, yes. So you turn it to live players, and then yeah, you can fly with friends. They can't be in your aircraft. They have to be in a different aircraft. But
Right, right. But like I wasn't sure how like uppity they were with all the rules, flying around, horsing around and stuff.
well, so there's two different ways to do it. Okay, so now I'm in my aircraft. Um, yeah, and cool thing is once I turn the lights on, you'll be able, and once the sun comes, not like that. Once, oh yeah, it's darker than it will actually be. So let me hit ready to fly. That's my checklist. Let me move that over
Yeah,
here.
it's so small on the screen, man. I'm not like I've got
I'm
it on my
sorry.
43-inch screen and I still can't I can
So
read checklist.
okay.
That's it. And it's still split left and right eye, so it makes it a little weird for me to. Is there any way to merge it?
Not not really. Like that's what I was trying to figure out. What like that's why I went into settings to see if there was a way to merge it.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll try to look it up on the other screen.
Okay. Anyway, so now that I turned off the ready to fly station, you can kind of see the aircraft back there. It is a 4-passenger pilot co-pilot configuration. You see, I turn my yoke and the yoke spin. I push and I pull. Ooh, it is having there. Oh, it's having input problems, probably because of what I have it plugged into. I might modify that and plug it into my computer direct instead of what I have it plugged into. All right, so first things first, let's go to our checklist here and parking brake set. So I'm going to hide the yoke because I have a yoke. I'm going to set the parking brake. All right, so that is a check. We're going to tick that item. All avionics are off, correct? Yes. Tick that. Fuel selectors to the fullest tank. Shoot, I lost my mouse.
I see it moving around.
There we go. Oh, that's what zoom is. All right, I believe it's on a good tank. So we'll take that item. Battery and alternator switch turn on. All right. Now you can't see it typically. And cool thing about this game is if you don't know where they are, right? Where's the battery and alternator? We don't know. You can actually click this button and it highlights it for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? Now I'm not utilizing, and you utilize the switch and you just you flip the switches. Okay, but I'm not going to be doing that because I have switches externally. All right, so there's battery and alternator is now on. You can see my MFD or main flight display, multi-flight display, depending on who you talk to, powers up there. Notice that one's not powered up yet. Yes.
Post.
Okay.
It says it's just how VR is implemented in the game. However, if you have Oculus, you can use the Oculus Mirror. It will give you a single screen to watch.
Oculus Mirror. What's that mean?
You said that it should be in your, Oculus program files under support, under Oculus Diagnostics. It's oculusmirror.exe.
All right, I'm not exactly sure how to activate that on my Oculus, though. That's would be the problem.
Well, that's the problem with this is his description of it. He's not really fully explained it. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably acts similar to what VR View is, where like you run it separately and it pulls up a secondary screen that you can capture.
Okay, yeah, that might be it. That would make sense. Um,
But I mean, he gives the path to it.
hmm,
I'll
okay.
post it to you here.
Anyway,
Yes.
tick that item. All right, so now we're going to go to starting engine, mixture, rich. Now, I don't have a throttle assembly yet, so I'm just going to reach down here and grab the mixture, turn it to rich. Okay. And we're going to tick that. Whoop. I didn't click on it. So
You can't use your throttle from your HOTAS?
For the throttle, sure. Watch. Mixture goes up with it, see?
Right.
Now,
You don't have a separate mixture button on your throttle, is what you're saying.
I got it. Check that out. Because I have the split throttle.
Oh, nice.
I never could be able to do that before because of my previous throttle. So now I can control. That's awesome. All right, so mixture's rich. Oh, I can control prop too with that one. Oh, epic! And then prop max RPM, so I've got that all the way up to max RPM. Check. Throttle full. Throttle is full. Take that item. Fuel boost on until flow peaks. In which case, then I go to. Sorry. So now, whoop, can you see that a little bit better?
Well, I can actually see there's bars and stuff there now instead of just pretty
Okay.
colors.
So I'm looking here.
I can't
Fuel.
read the text, but
Oh,
oh, there we go.
fuel flow, gallons per hour. Okay, so I'm going to flip my fuel pump on and look for fuel. All right. So I got fuel there. Okay. So now I'm going to come back over here on until flow peaks. Right. It says flow peaks, and then turn it off when fuel flow peaks.
Is this stuff that
This is
you
real.
know already, or is this stuff that you're having to just go by the checklist?
No.
Like just your personal knowledge.
So I know it. I have flown
Okay.
this. I have put 20 hours in this aircraft, start to shutdown.
Nice.
But you always follow the checklist
Yeah, yeah. I
so
was
you
just
don't
curious
forget things.
whether you had studied up on this and you already knew it, or if you were just strictly following the instructions on the screen.
So throttle
That's
1/2
cool.
inch, check. Magneto start position, then both. So let me
And
check
explain
light.
it to everybody who doesn't know what magneto start position and all that means.
All right, so here's the Magneto. Zoom in here as much as I can. I just hit my yoke. All right, so this is the Magneto. And what a
Okay.
magneto is basically like your spark plugs or your distributor on a car. It's what provides power to the cylinders so that they run. Okay. And so I have a switch external, and so I go right, left, both,
Ooh, I
start,
heard it.
and then you flip it back to both. Okay. Same. Magneto must be set to start position, then released to both position when engine fires. Do not engage for more than 30 seconds in any 4-minute time period. But she
Kind of
fired
like the
up.
glow plugs on the old Humvees and stuff, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, now she fired up right away, so that's not really a concern. She's a brand new aircraft, so that applies a lot more to the older aircraft. Okay, so we're going to take that throttle 1,000 to 2,000 RPM. All right, so we go here and we see RPM right here, and we're at 1060 right now, which means we are between 1,000 and 2,000 RPM. Yeah, so we're good there. Oh, sorry, 1,000 to 1,200. And then we got to look at oil pressure. That once again is here in our main flight display or multi-flight display, and here's oil pressure. Can you read that?
Hmm.
Cool.
Well, I can't read it, but I saw where you were pointing at, and I saw the bar.
Perfect. Okay, so now we can check that off our list. And now we go to after starting engine, avionics master switch, right? So that's going to be right there.
This is pretty educational for the people who have always been passengers and always wondered why the hell does it take them so long to get out the damn gate?
Right. And this is a tiny aircraft comparative. All right.
Yes.
Lights as required. Okay, so here's our light panel, nav lights, beacon lights,
And you're just using your wand for all this, right?
strobe. Yes.
Okay.
And then there's also floodlights, panel lights, taxi lights,
Is
and
that your
landing
external
lights.
temperature there, 73? Down on your center console. I see 73F.
No, that is internal cockpit temperature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have an external temperature?
I
Just curious
believe.
as to what it's saying. I'm sorry,
There
I'm
you go,
derailing
right
your
there.
video. What's it say? I can't read it. 23 Celsius?
Yep.
Man.
I don't know how to change that. I do have to come all the way over here. See how this says press enter or
You,
rightmost
you,
soft key.
you know what's funny is 23 is about 74 degrees. It's like 73 and a half, but
Awesome. So,
you got it normalized.
all right, lights as required. Tick. Boost pump. Check that it is off.
I'm sorry, what pump was that?
Boost pump. So that's your
Yeah, I didn't hear the B. I heard ooze pump. I was like,
boost
wait, what?
pump. Yep. Now, I haven't checked all my lights. I haven't turned all my lights on. So we are going to turn on panel lights.
Now let me. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
It's fine.
Um, wouldn't you normally, in a small aircraft, especially like this, wouldn't you normally like be checking it on the outside too, or have a crew person check the outside for you?
A PIC or pilot in command always checks the exterior of their aircraft as well. That would have happened before this whole checklist procedure. But this game does not allow me to exit the aircraft and look.
Gotcha.
So,
Just so everybody's aware of the steps. That's what I'm after. I'm
yes.
interested in learning the whole deal here. You know, that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay, proceed. Sorry.
All right. So I did just turn on the panel lights here. As you can see, panel lights off, panel lights on. And look, the switch flips. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. All right. Next one I'm going to turn on is our beacon lights, which right here is our beacon lights. And if I look out, there, you can see them back there flashing.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
red.
Yep. That's beacon light. All right. Next we're going to turn on is our navigation lights, which is it's landing lights, flood lights, nav lights. Okay. And hold on, I got to find the switch. Sorry. There's nav lights. Okay. You see it there? Right there. And then green on that side.
Okay, I got you. I was gonna
Red,
say, isn't there a green one normally too?
green. Yep. You got red on one side, green on the other side. And that's for other aircraft to know which way you're traveling and what side they're looking at. Okay. So next I'm going to
We have
turn
those in
on.
War Thunder, don't we? We just
Yes.
never use them.
And we never have to. Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, typically on a fighter aircraft in battle, you don't want nav lights and strobe lights and
No,
any
you're
lights.
using those strictly when you're coming in peacefully, right?
Yes. This next one is the strobe light here. Now the strobe light is on top of the aircraft.
That's a little white blinky one.
Yes. And I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Oh yeah.
There. Oh, I don't know if we can. Yeah.
Isn't that it up there though?
On my tail.
Yeah. I saw
Now
it.
that
White
big
there.
that big bright one
Green.
that's flashing blue and green, that's actually the tower.
Oh, okay.
On my aircraft, I'm not seeing.
So in the next version, are they gonna let you get a new plane?
Yes. Yes, that is the plan for the next iteration. All right. And now I am going to turn on this one right here is taxi lights. Okay, so when you are taxiing or moving through these blue channels, all of these blue lights is your taxiways. When you're moving through those, you have your taxi light on. Yeah? Okay. And then you also have a landing light. And landing lights, see that? They're underneath the aircraft. So your taxi lights are typically pointed a little more towards the nose, a little more flat, while the landing light is pointed at the ground, kind of like headlights and fog lights.
Gotcha.
That's kind of like what they are. But I like to turn them on because it gives me more visual of the road in front. Okay. Whee! All right. Lights. Check. And I can actually turn this one off now. This one is literally just an interior floodlight. You can also do this one, and that's underneath here. Okay, and that is nice because it lights up the whole panel, so I don't have to use this one. But I can't use this floodlight until I turn on battery and avionics. But and there we go. Okay. All right, so we can check that. Parking brake release, and this is how we would start taxiing. Now, typically, with where we're at, we cannot go forward because this is a parking spot, basically. You can't really see it because it's still night out. And by the way, I don't know if you can see all the stars. And I believe, like, if you see there, I don't know if you can see it, but that is Orion with Orion's belt right there. And that is accurate. That is south in the southeast quadrant of the sky. This is a very, very accurate depiction. There's another constellation that you guys might recognize, but it's very cool. Very, very, very cool. And you might recognize that one right outside the front.
It's hard to see that.
All right, well, let's see if I can get the mouse to point them out. There's a star right there, star right there, star right there, there, and there. What's that look like?
Yeah, it's too hard to see. Like
Oh, okay.
You can see it a little bit, but it's very, very faint. I'm only seeing like one, sometimes two of the stars in that constellation.
Oh, okay.
It could be because of the headlights. I'm not sure, or maybe the internal lights. I don't know, but just
Okay.
when you look in that direction, it's hard to see the stars.
No
You
worries.
can see them off to the left there, though.
Okay. It's good. All right. Now, I am done. I'm going to tick this item just to say I have 4 of 4. And I am actually done with my checklist for this aircraft. We are ready to communicate with our ATC.
So, do you actually talk to a real person there, or?
All right, let's pause and talk about that. In the game itself, there is our ATC, or air traffic control, is automated AI. It's not even AI. It's automated, artificial. There's no intelligence with it. There is a program that I do run when I fly, like when I'm practicing for real life, like treating it as a simulator. There's a program I run that is live people ATC, air traffic control. But I am not using that for this one because I am doing something that ATC would not approve of.
Allow.
So what we're going to do, we first tune to weather. Okay.
1,600 feet, scattered ceiling 4,700 feet, overcast. Temperature 2 degrees Celsius. Dew point 10 Celsius. Altimeter 29069er.
All right. So I'm going to tune off of that real quick. I'll tune back to it. there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about.
Like the
But
287 at 13, is that like what direction,
Right.
what speed?
yes, so automated weather observation is what I'm tuned to. Wind 287 is the heading. Okay, so if we look at this dial, hold on. All right, this dial here is my heading. My heading currently is 051. Headings are in a 360 degree. All right, so 287. Remember 287. I'm going to turn that off here real quick. All right, so 287. Damn it. All right, as you can see, this is my current heading, which means the way I'm facing, 051. So headings are done in 360 degrees, north being 0, south being 180, east being 90, west being 270.
Right.
Okay. So what that was saying was the wind is coming in from 287, which means little bit further north than due west.
Right.
Yep. So it's coming out of the west, almost directly west, which is awesome. And that means, and that plays a huge part with taking off, because there's a specific
And
way
your
you want
limits.
to take off and land. Yes. You want to take off, if I remember correctly, you want to take off against the wind, and you want to land against the wind.
Oh, I land against it too.
Yes. Okay. Because wind
Well, I
will
guess
help.
that makes sense. Give
Yeah.
it more lift.
Right. So if memory serves, and if that's correct, when I call for taxi, it's going to drive me that way. I'll be headed to the east, and I'll turn around, and I'm going to take off towards the west. Let's see if I'm right, but when we get there, let's tune back to the weather. All right, so we talked about the wind. Visibility 10. I believe that means I have 10 miles of visibility. Okay. Okay, so sky condition at 1,600 feet. And then the ceiling is 4,700 feet. So the clouds start at 1,600 feet and go up to 4,700 feet off the ground. Temperature and dew point. I could explain, but temperature is ambient temperature outside, 24 degrees Celsius, which notice 23, 24. So that's pretty accurate. Dew point, 10 degrees Celsius. That means when it starts dewing, or when there's accumulation of water, is at 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. So when you are in the air, you watch your external temperature, and you're going to start getting water on the wings and the props at 10 degrees. Altimeter is talking about the barometric pressure in our current area. And you actually, there is a setting to set and I forgot a lot of, this is the Garmin 1000 series, and I actually downloaded the user manual on it, but it has been a long time since I've used it. So this 1200 is my squawk code, standby UTC. That's local time. No, not local time. I don't know what that is. I forget. Damn it. But you can run a timer, and that's used in VFR or visual flight rules. Primary flight display options, map, and HSI. Forget what CDI, and I forget what a lot of these mean. XPDR, that is changing this. And so if I click that, I can actually change my code by clicking that button and type in whatever code they tell me to squawk at, which squawk means identification on air traffic control's computer.
Gotcha.
It's my radar signature, and they can tell me to change to a different code. And then if they just want me to ping, basically, when we call out in War Thunder and we go, "Here I am,"
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing. And ident right here, when I click that button, that's exactly what it is. It's saying, "Here I am," or "Follow me," or whatever. So it's actually kind of cool. Okay. So there's other things that this can do. So like this says nearest. That's the nearest airport list. So I can actually see, so here's where I'm at, right? So it's 0.2 nautical miles, and that's where the tower is. It's 0.2 nautical miles at the 100. At 100, right? So 100 is right here. Sorry. 115, 14, 13, 12, 11, 110.
Keep your mouse right there for a second. I just want you to see.
Sorry, it disappeared.
All right. No, you're good. You're good. I grabbed it before you were.
Okay.
But that's what I'm seeing when you do that. I actually
Okay.
see dual
You-
displays of it, as well as
Yeah.
3 mouse cursors.
Oh, that's cool. So you really have no idea what I'm looking at. Okay. Anyway, so
Made it hardest on the stars, I think. I didn't notice the other mouse cursors there, so maybe I was looking at the wrong mouse cursor when you were pointing out the stars earlier, but
I gotcha.
yeah.
All right. So we want to. It's not giving me ground list. So I'm just going to announce taxi.
Mike November Tree Romeo is taxiing to runway tree 2.
Do you like my my tail number?
3-2?
That's my
Oh,
tail number.
nice.
Pretty slick, huh? Okay. So we are actually going to taxi. I'm just going to taxi that way. They didn't give me taxi instructions. So, but I need to taxi to runway. Oh, why aren't we moving? Do you guys know? Anybody know why we're not moving? Even though I'm... There you go. We'll release the brake there. I think I have it set up for a...
You're lucky I'm not strictly an IT guy. Then I might say, have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Right? All right, so I'm running through grass right now. You're not supposed to do this. But like I said, I'm about to do illegal stuff anyway. So now we want to put our nose right on that yellow line there. And then you can see there's split off here, but we're going to go all the way to the end of the runway. And cool thing is you can see on my primary flight display here. Yeah,
it kind of shows you the lines.
It shows you the lines. Not all aircraft have this. Only the newest aircraft have this. So do not get used to utilizing that unless you literally have this kind of aircraft. Frequently, I'll jump down to the 172 Cessna or the... oh, I'm crossing an active runway.
That's right. There's nobody there.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have looked at that first, huh? Hey, what are you doing, aircraft? Where are you going? Where are you going? Nowhere.
They shouldn't have been flying out of there that early in the morning anyways.
I agree. I've got a really bad right-hand pull for some reason. And I don't know why. But I'm just gonna... I think that was the Yeah. No, I think I want to take off from this one over here.
So, do you have to get different ratings for different amounts of engines on a craft?
Yes. So a standard PPL or private pilot license is single engine only. And there's two ways you can actually go with a PPL. Actually, I'm sure there's more. I'm talking fixed wing, which means your standard aircraft that everybody's familiar with. There's also rotary wing, which I'm sure you can guess what rotary wing is.
Was that like a gyrocopter or something?
No, it's just helicopters. I guess it's rotary, not rotary wing, but all right. So real quick, you see this yellow line here. So that is called a stop short point. So basically you pull up to this line and you stop and you wait for clearance from ATC. And the reason that is because that is actually a runway. Here's the problem though. Notice how it's not lit up. That sucks. So that means I'm actually going to have to, I'm just going to run the runway and go back to the taxiway. And we are going to do completely illegal things here by pulling onto this runway.
Okay, that usually makes the better videos.
Nope. This is runway 32. This is runway 32. I'm on the right runway. Why is it not lit up? It's interesting. Okay, so right now I have both brakes applied, and this is about where you start. I'm a little off center line, which is not proper, but typically you want to get your nose right on center line best you can. And we are going to take off. Now I'm going to announce takeoff, depart, straight out.
Kilo Oscar Bravo Echo, traffic Beachcraft November Tree 5 November Tree Romeo, taking off runway Tree 2, departing straight out.
Now, notice how it said basic Kobe traffic. You see Kobe traffic.
They brought Kobe in?
Yeah. Kilo Oscar Bravo Echo. That's the name of this airport. Okay. And Kilo is United States. Yeah, no. So Kilo, I believe, is the United States, and then Okeechobee. That's the letters for Okeechobee. Okeechobee, Florida. Okay. And notice it says traffic, and nobody's responding. Okay. Because ATC, the tower, is currently shut down. It's too early. So, I believe I can actually look at a map that has weather. I believe this one has weather. Let me zoom in here. I believe that is weather. Let's go map options. I don't know how to zoom. I forget how to zoom. Oh, cool. Anyway, I know we are currently facing 323, which is north by northwest, and we want to head south by southwest. So we're just going to do that. Both brakes applied. We're going to increase throttle, and then we are going to release the brakes. Try and keep her on center line as much as possible. It's been a while since I've flown, so I apologize that this is not nice and smooth. And we're getting a little crazy. We're getting really crazy. Okay. Let's get our gears up. Let's apply, and let's, where's engine? So notice how that's flashing. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn down my prop pitch a little bit. You can hear the motor decrease a little. And so, and I'm even going to bring throttle down a little. I know you can't see it real well, but, and this jerky and the shaking of the aircraft is not. It might be my stick. Yeah, I know. I think it is my stick. I think I might have to modify.
While your yoke's on, or
No, it's not my regular yoke providing input. It's what I have it plugged into. It's plugged through a USB power supply and then into the computer instead of directly into my computer. And so it's getting ghost. It's ghosting. Ghost input. That's what I was looking for. Notice how it, like, that's me not even touching it. And actually with that, I can adjust my trim. So my trim wheel is actually down here. Here's my trim wheel. That's pitch. That's the way my nose goes. Okay, and I believe there is aileron too, but I have pitch set up. So, quite, right? Now, we are headed there, but I am going to get a little more elevation, and then we will head, you can kind of see it. You can kind of see where we're headed. Maybe you can't, but
that squall of freaking cloud right there
yes.
in there. Oh wow.
Do you see the marching lights? It's a highway. And that's Lake Okeechobee. And that's the Kissimmee River. It runs all the way up into Kissimmee. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we'll say I am, okay? Kissimmee. So, very cool thing about this program is it is a very accurate program. So, distances, actual,
Great views.
yeah.
Which is why I almost got it like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And then I just kept hearing about the new one. Which the new one?